Hi, my name is Lynette Clement, and I am reading from the May 2021 issue of the Love Exquisite Magazine. I am reading in the Learning by Design section, and it is an article titled Treat People How You Want to Be Treated. So I believe that that's something that we all should do. We should treat people how we want to be treated. When we do that, I think um, everybody would be treated fairly, everybody would be treated justly, everybody would be treated equally. So this article actually came about as I was thinking about the current climate that we're in, and how some people don't treat each other in the same way. So they might treat someone of a different race better, or they might treat someone of a different race worse. So the pendulum fluctuate depending on who you are. But everybody should, no matter who you are, everybody should treat each other how they want to be treated. So if you want somebody to respect you, then you should respect them. That's the basis of this conversation and this article. Treat people how you want to be treated. So basically, you cannot be mad at someone for treating you the same way that you treat them, especially if you don't have a problem with how you treat them. Think about that. If you treat someone badly and you think that there's nothing wrong with that, when they in turn treat you badly, you shouldn't have a problem with that, because you don't have a problem with how you treat them, and it's the same way. So just keep that in mind. A lot of people like to point fingers and say, well, you treat me this way, and they never turn the mirror on themselves and say, well, how do I treat people? So that's basically what this article is about. It's about getting you to evaluate how you treat people. So we cannot expect someone else to do for us what we don't do for them. We cannot expect people to be there for us when we're not there for them. Energy usually matches energy. So make sure that you check your energy before you try to check someone else's. So a lot of times, again, we don't look in that mirror. We're so focused on looking at somebody else, you, but we never point the finger back and say, how did I contribute to that situation or circumstance? So again, we should treat people how we want to be treated. From the rising cases of police brutality worldwide and the rising cases of gun violence in the city of Philadelphia, we have to check our own behaviors. Each and every one of us should be held accountable for us, from the police officers to the black on black crime, and for everybody. We have to evaluate how we treat people individually. Everybody I'm talking about, not just a chosen few. So again, we should treat people how we want to be treated. So if you want respect, then you should treat people with respect. If you want people to support you, then you should support them. If you want a person to call you or spend more time with you, then you should call them and spend more time with them. So we can't always look at what other people are not doing and not look at what we're not doing as well. So we always have to not put the blame and onus on somebody else. We have to take a harsh look at ourselves and at our flaws and our faults, and what how we contributed to the situation again. So we are when we're at fault, we have to take ownership in that fact. And it's not about who's right or wrong, it's about how do we make this wrong right. That's the focus. How do we make this wrong right? How can I treat my brother or sister better? How can I treat my neighbor better? How can I treat my colleagues better? How can I treat my family better? How can I, or what can I do? Not what other people can do, but what can you do? Since you can't control other people, you can only control yourself. You have to ask yourself, how can I treat people better? Well, first you have to ask yourself, how do I treat people? Especially people who are different from me. like whether it's race, whether it's social economic status, whether it's hierarchical on the job. How do you treat people? Whether it's a homeless person on the street, you have to treat people how you want to be treated. Whether it's an officer to who sees a black child that they feel like their life is threatened, approach that child and treat that child the same way that you would want to be treated. And then, as someone approaching an officer, you should also respect that officer and treat them how you would want to be treated as well. So again, the pendulum swings both ways. So please stop pointing the fingers and think that you don't contribute to the situation. Now, in all situations, you have the ability to control how you treat people, despite how they treat you. So you have to ask yourself, how do I treat people? If all of us treated each other how we want to be treated, this world will truly be a better place. So I challenge each and every one of you to acknowledge how you treat people. Be honest about how you treat people, and then evaluate that situation and say, well, if you are treating people how you want to be treated, I applaud you. I applaud you. Thank you. Thank you for your contribution to the positive side of society. Um, if you don't, please think about that. Think about how you treat people, evaluate how you treat people, and think about ways in which you can treat people better. A better you, a better world. A better you, a better world. A better you, a better me, a better me, a better you, a better world collectively. So treat people how you want to be treated. Thank you for listening. That is in the Learning by Design section of the May 2021 edition of the Love Exquisite Magazine.